harmless. The green water snake. They're only like maybe a slight greenish tinge to them, like an olive green. Not necessarily like a hard green, but generally, you know.
Will they flatten their heads out too?
Every single one of these, every single water snake is going to flatten its head out and then flatten their body out even. You see this one's all getting puffed up and angry. And this one's flattened its head out, a little triangle. So yeah, that's just naturally what they do. Anytime you encounter them, they're going to be like, whoa man, I'm a water moccasin, right? You don't want to mess with me, right? And then people kill them. So it kind of has the opposite effect. Yes?
Well, you said if they flatten their heads, they are poisonous, right?
No, a lot of the non-venomous ones are going to flatten their heads to look like the venomous ones. So, yeah, they're trying to scare people off, exactly. But it has the opposite effect with humans, because we see it as, okay, well, that's a dangerous snake, we need to kill it. And that's not true. And diamondback water snake, I haven't seen any of these personally, but they look pretty. I look at, it's hard to see with the smaller picture and everything, but this one has like beautiful amber colored eyes on it and everything. It's gorgeous. The plain belly water snake, there's like yellow belly, red belly water snake, but the difference is let's see, I don't know if I have one of these flipped over in here, but yeah, either way, they have like a checkered pattern on their bellies, except for these, which have just really smooth. They can have very slight patterns on them, but for the most part, they're going to be like a uniform dark color on top. Garter snakes. Now these can pretty much be found in almost any habitat, but they do prefer to be around water. They will eat fish as well. So, numerous different species. The ribbon snake is like a more slender variant, but they're still technically garter snakes. But all of them are going to have these bright yellow or bright white sometimes stripes going all the way down their body. They have a big head, large eyes, and everything. They're little cuties, but they are mean. Like, very few of these do not try to bite, but again, their teeth are very small, they're not going to do much. There's a little cutie up there. Look at that face. How could you hate that? Okay, crayfish snakes. I've kept some of these as pets before, but they live in like stagnant water, so that was not good for my health having them in the same room. So I was like, why do I feel so sick? Every morning I wake up, my throat is sore, and it's like I'm breathing in the stagnant water and everything. It's just like, yeah. Yeah, these little cuties, they do not get very big. Their scientific name is like rigida or something. They get very rigid and stiff body. You pick them up and they feel like a really strong bendy straw. That's just
upside down on the back half in some of these pictures.
That's just whenever someone puts them down, they want to try and get the colors on the belly as well. So, yeah. Several different variants. Some will have stripes, others will just be plain. But all right, mud snakes. These are absolutely gorgeous. They never bite, ever. Like, there's one of the few larger snakes that is just not going to bite no matter what the circumstance is. They do have like a little spine on their tail, but it can't do anything. It just feels like just lightly poking your fingernail on your arm or something. It does not hurt. And gosh, they're just so beautiful and friendly. But they're very common actually, but you just rarely see them because they live underground in like, springs and swamps and stuff like that. And so you're not going to actually see them come up unless it's during a rainstorm. And I saw one actually chasing the salamander. I saw the salamander starting darting out and everything, and I was like, oh man, I gotta get that. And I get it, I go, I take pictures and everything, and I go back to put it down, and there's a mud snake over here just, where's that salamander? I didn't smell that thing. So I tried to catch a mud snake, but boy, those things, once they get underground, it's like a mole. Okay, those things, you cannot get them back out. They go right under. It's so cool though. There's two variants here. You have the Eastern mud snake, which is I've seen 2 of, and the rainbow mud snake, which I've seen 0 of, which is really unfortunate because these are very beautiful. Yeah, they do have really intimidating colors, like maybe like a red and black and all that. So they look scary, but these are perhaps one of the least harmful snakes you can find. Now terrestrial snakes, just more generally on land. Now pretty much every single snake is able to swim. I mean, I hear people say like, yeah, no, rattlesnakes are going to be found around water. No, rattlesnakes can swim really well. Almost every single snake can swim extremely well. So try and get in the water to get away from them, that ain't going to happen. But again, they're not going to come after you, so you don't have to worry about that. Now, glass lizard. I have to include this because everyone sees these and they think they're snakes. It's like, no, they're not snakes. These are lizards. Okay? Again, you got to learn all the individual things in order to... Yeah. I'm talking to myself again. Anyways, so they eat insects, snails, sometimes small reptiles. They will eat snakes, just small snakes. They cannot like open up their mouth as wide as snakes can, so they're very limited as to what they can eat. They have eyelids and they have little ear holes, so you can tell that is different from snakes. And the thing is, they are not very good at getting a grip, and so if they're on a slick surface, then these things are not going to go anywhere. They're just going to go like in a frantic S pattern and not do anything. So they can't climb or anything like that. They're meant to go underground and, you know, hunt. So if you grab these, the reason they call them glass lizards is because they're actually going to shatter their entire body past their tail. Like they're mostly made of tail. Like only like the first quarter or 1/3 of their body is actually their body. The rest of it is just a long tail. And any part of that tail can just completely break apart. And that's just in case something grabs them, you know, then they just break off that part and they can regrow it. Obviously, it's not going to be quite as pretty. It's usually just going to be like a dull gray color the rest of the way. So it's very rare to see a fully intact adult glass lizard. There's a nice pretty one for you. A little ear canals back here, have eyelids, all that. Really pretty. Now, black racer, one of the most common snakes you're going to see. Yes?
The lizard shouldn't have feet.
There are actually several lizards that do not have legs. This is one of the examples found in our area. There are several like grunt lizards and all that. They just, I don't know. God just said that, let's not give those legs. I don't know. So, yeah, the black racer. These things are very common, very aggressive, and probably one of the most likely to encounter snakes anywhere around here, really. You're just going to find these all over the place. They're very aggressive, okay? They're not going to chase you, but this is one of the snakes that will always have like a designated safe area that they're going to go towards, even if you're in the way. They're very fast, so people get, you know, freaked out anytime they see them. They're going to rattle their tails. They're going to try and bite all the time. Like that's just how they are. They're just naturally very grumpy. So the babies actually have very strong patterns on them. They're like a silver gray color with rust orange spots going down their back. They're just as mean as the adults, even though they can't really do anything to you. There's only been 2 black racers out of the probably 200 plus that I've caught. Only 2 of them that did not bite me whenever I caught them. Only 2. So, look at the little cutie right there. Look at that little face. I don't know. I love snakes, so I'm a little biased on that. Okay, you can see the baby right here. Look at those strong patterns. They just completely fade out until they're like a jet black color whenever they're adults. Rat snakes. One of my favorites. Okay, we have 2 main ones that are in this area. We have the gray rat snake, also known as the oak snake, because they look like oak bark, like they're the same gray color and everything like that. I have one. I'll take it out probably momentarily. They're not very aggressive, but they will bite if they are messed with, I guess. Their body has like a squarish, like, I don't know, it's like the shape of a loaf of bread. You know, it's like it's round up top, and then the bottom is like perfect little angled square. And that's so they can get a grip on stuff. These things are one of the best climbers I've ever seen. These things, I mean, can you give me some water? My throat's getting all jacked. So, I'll get it real quick. All right. These things can scale a brick wall. No problem. Like, yeah. ever seen them. You were there that time we got that gray one out of the neighbor's yard. Remember? That thing just went right up the brick wall. It's like I'm sitting there waiting for it to fall, and it never does. It just keeps going up the brick wall. Perfectly vertical. And that thing has such a strong grip. It's amazing. But yeah, the yellow ones, they're just like, orange or yellow color. They got dark stripes going down their body. These do get somewhat large. They can get, I think the maximum is like 7.5 feet, but it's extremely rare to see one that big. They're mostly just going to be like between 3 and 6. And they're very thin too, so I mean, it's not like a massive snake. I know that seems large when you think about it, like, oh my god, it's like that big or something. Yeah, but they're only like that big around. So, they got slight variations, especially in the gray ones. A lot of them will be more blotchy pattern or bright colored, and some of them will have more of a brownish dull tint. The one I have is more like this. So, you don't want to see it now, or just wait until afterwards? Any opinions on that? So I can't pull him out. He's just not ever really in a good mood. I'll bring him out. Don't worry, Mom. I'll put it on you first. Yeah, he's very active. I don't have names for either of these. Either snakes are going. All right, then.
Because then he's more likely to keep them.
This is me. Just let him smell me.
Because he can't hear you.
I mostly talk just to calm myself down. Just You're okay.
Oh,
There we go.
First time, can you come over and play with my yellow anaconda? So then you can like make them nice too. At the same time.
Yeah, that's what I'm really good at. Like this guy here, he's generally friendly, but yeah, he's really good. So you just want to provide enough support for him, otherwise they're just going to completely flip out. But yeah, you can see the pattern and everything on him. Go ahead.
He's so cute.
Yeah, I just get so distracted when I'm holding him. I just lose my train of thought and just sit there and just like, oh my God, you're so beautiful. But yeah. Now the only thing this guy really does to me is he squirts musk all the time. It's awful. Some people have compared like snake musk and all that to a wet goat. I personally haven't smelled a wet goat before, but I assume this is what it's like. He doesn't like to handle. God, that is really strong too. It's not, come here, buddy.
He's just trying to make himself more comfortable with you.
You're good, buddy. You hold him up? Flying home? Can you zoom in on that? It's definitely a rat snake of some kind. Yeah, that's this one. That one's just got brighter colors. There you go, buddy. I'll probably take him out a little later, but he does not like to be handled. So I mostly just leave him be. Oh yeah, you smell it now? Man, it just makes you want to go eat something now, right? All right, so there is a more black variant. Yeah, see, this is. See, is that looking? Doesn't that look exactly like the picture you just showed me? Yeah. So it is a rat snake. None of these I took. These are all. We really don't have very many of these around here. They're more common up north. Further up east you go, they're more like Carolina, Kentucky, that general area. So, but they have the same features and stuff like that. Some of them can have slight pattern and all that, but they're all going to have the same general shape and stuff. Corn snakes, another favorite. These are a type of rat snake, also known as a red rat snake. They're generally smaller. These are very, very common in pet trade. Like everybody loves having a corn snake, a ball python, or a king snake. Like those are like the main ones that people love because these can be even wild ones can be extremely friendly, just in a very short period of time, especially if they're with me. People call me the snake whisperer because I can just calm down like any snake. So, let's see. I do have one of these as well. She's a full adult. That one there was just kind of he's like middle-aged, I guess a teenager or something. He's not full adult yet. So the one that I have is considerably larger, but she's sweeter by comparison. So yeah, they call them corn snakes. They don't eat corn. They eat mice and rats, but they're found in like corn cribs and stuff. As well as another thing that could have been inspiration for their name is their belly looks like kettle corn. And you see the pattern of the corn right there, and you can see the pattern of their belly. So, two possible ways to tell what those are. But yeah, they're always usually this vibrant orange color. A lot of them are really dull though, so I tried to pick out, what you'd more likely see in the wild, rather than something you'll see in a pet store. So a lot of these are not quite so vibrant. Well, this one up here is. I mean, look at those orange and yellow colors. There's so much about this. It just resembles corn. I don't know. But this is one of my favorite pictures here. Look how beautiful that is. Wow. You can see each individual scale and all that. Well, I'm just trying to pull her out real quick. Some water. No, buddy, it's okay. You're good. Hi, beautiful. How are you? They're like children, you just gotta be very patient.
What?
There she is. She's gorgeous. She's my little darling here. See, she's not like all these bright, vivid colors. Like this is more likely what you're gonna see. This is kind of this dull orangish brown color. They do kind of dull out the further down towards the tail you go. Most of the brighter color is going to be up at the front. Yeah, she's a sweetie. Except for whenever she bit me. But aside from that, tell me about it. I'll get through that like once we get through the presentation part. Right. Okay. So I'm going to try and do that now. I cannot guarantee you that she won't bite, but she more than likely will.
The gray one would probably bite. She probably won't.
Actually, she's bitten me more than he has. So, but you can like head to the side. I can try and keep her head over to this side if you want.
As Tristan was mentioning, you got to remember that their instinct is to bite as a protection. And they always see like shades and colors of that sort of thing. Fast movements.
Yeah, I'm comfortable enough to put up a wild snake next to my face. Either that says snakes are friendly, or I'm a crazy person. So.
I think you're a crazy person.
Oh, everyone does. Alright, I'm going to put her favorite piece of art back in here. I took this out of her tank, but she just feels comfortable anytime she's with that piece of bark.
Yeah.
If you have a dog who just loves like a certain toy, they just always feel comfortable if they're with that one toy. That's how she feels about this piece of bark. Alrighty.
How old did you say she was?
Well, I got both of these from the wild, so I'm not really sure. But she's definitely an adult. I estimate she's probably at least 8 years or something. A lot of snakes can live, on average, anywhere between 15 and 25 years. So they live longer than dogs and cats. So if you want a pet that'll last a little longer, you can get one of these, or you get a tortoise that'll outlive you.
At least they're more loving than a parrot.
Oh yeah. Let's see. Green snakes. These are another favorite of mine. I'm not going to say that for every snake, but you know. So these are extremely slender. They just whisk their way right through all the greenery. They're common, but they're obviously hard to find because look at those colors on them. Those things blend in so well. They wave in the wind and everything. They look like vines. But they're not aggressive. I've only had a couple of them try to bite me, and I found several of these before. So anywhere like in gardens or stuff like that, they do eat insects like grasshoppers and everything like that. So you get a mixture of these and ringneck snakes, and your garden is pretty much, 100%. Look how vibrant these things are. They are absolutely beautiful. They're not the best to keep as pets though. Some of them will just refuse to eat when they're in captivity, and I don't know, they get stressed out really easily. So yeah, I feel bad for them. All right, Coach Whip. These are fun. Yeah, these are extremely fast. Probably the fastest snake we have in North America. They are aggressive, but again, with all these snakes, I'm talking about their aggression, like only if you're trying to catch them or something, or if you're bothering them. So, all these snakes, they're just going to try and get away as their first thing. But if you do catch one of these things in the wild, they are not going to stop trying to bite you. They will just bite and bite and bite. You cannot keep a wild one of these in captivity because they're just going to strike at the glass and they're going to hurt themselves. So, there are people who commercially breed them for pet trade, and so those are fine. But wild ones, not good for pets. They're named Coach Whips because their tail kind of looks like a braided whip. And yeah, you definitely see it right here. But yeah, they have every single one of these Coach Whips, at least the Eastern variant. There's all sorts of different ones if you go out further west. But they're going to have a very dark colored head that slowly fades to a light tan color towards the tail. They're all going to follow that basic identification little stuff. Let's see, gopher snakes, also known as pine snakes or stuff like that. These are very big. They like to throw hissy fits. So they live in or around gopher tortoise burrows, actually. There's one of the reasons they call them gopher snakes. They hide in the burrows and come out to eat and all that. They just share it with the tortoise. So they prefer dry, sandy areas or pine forests, stuff like that. So out in Blackwater is a good place for them. And they got a bit of a variant for them. Whenever they're younger, they are more patterned. They can kind of fade out, like some of the ones over here. They just really look angry because that one's scale is kind of over their eyes, so they just look really grumpy, and they can be grumpy. So they like to.
The head shape seems to be narrow.
Yeah, they're definitely a lot more narrow. These things, for their defense displays, they will like vibrate their tail and stuff, and they will puff up their body, and they'll just, like I said, they throw hissy fits. But hognose snakes, these are one of my favorites. Again, I say that probably for every snake, but still. We have two different species here. We have the southern hognose, which is always going to be this gray color with black and orange going down the back. Those are a lot smaller. They rarely get more than a foot. But you have the eastern hognose that can get about 3 feet, and they're several different variants. They can be like a golden color, they can be brown, gray, black, stuff like that. These will never bite, but they are the best actors in the snake world. Okay. Thing is, people call them like spread adders or cuff adders and stuff like that, even though they're not adders, they're, hognoses. But they have little pointed snout, which is why they call them hognoses. They use it like a shovel, so they can dig down and catch toads. Because the southern and eastern variant of the hognose, they will only eat toads. They'll occasionally eat a frog if everything else is like extremely scarce, but other than that, they are strictly toad eaters. The western variant is almost strictly mouse eaters, and those are very common in pet trade. But these not so much. One, because they're hard to find, and two, you're not going to be able to get a really good supply of toads year round. I don't know, depends on where you live. Oh yeah. They spread out their necks like a cobra, but they don't like rear up or anything. They flatten out like this and just kind of, they hiss, they inflate their whole body. They do the same puffy thing that the pine snakes do. And one of the cool things about these is if you disturb them enough, they will play dead. And it is hilarious to watch, actually. I've witnessed this a few times, and you know, you start poking at them and everything. They'll lunge at you, but they don't even open their mouth when they do so. They will not bite, like, at all. You literally have to pry open their mouth and put it on your hand. I don't know anyone that would do that, besides me. But, yeah. They flip over, they open up their mouth, they hang out their tongue to the side, they group all over themselves, and they flip over and start going all spastic, and then they just sit there. And if you try and pick them up and put them right side up, they'll immediately flip back over to try and play dead. So it's just like, you ain't fooling me. Okay, they'll even throw up too. I mean, they just want to look as unappealing as possible. So you just go away from them. Yeah, there's one playing dead right there. So.
Oh my goodness, really?
Drama queen. Yeah, some of them can be like a uniform black color too. So there's a lot of snakes that will just be like a solid black color. Black racer, the hog nose, various different ones. So scarlet king snake. These are really pretty. There's another coral snake mimic. So the color pattern resembles coral snake. Still same color and everything like that. The scarlet king snake has a red nose. That's kind of one major distinctions, I guess. And the bands do go all the way around the body, which is unlike the scarlet snake, which actually isn't even related to this. They like just in pine forests, like underneath bark and all that. And, I forgot the torch was still up.
Did it scare you?
Everyone.
I just saw it. It just looks like a rock moving. There's Dwayne Johnson back there. All right, so I've got a bunch of them here. Feel bad for the skink over here, but you know, I do prefer the snake. Anyways, look how pretty they are. They have like a really flat head too. So.
Like a ketchup bottle.
Hmm?
Like a ketchup bottle.
Yeah, ketchup bottle. So, common king snake. I know I've said all of these are my favorite, but this one is the #1. I mean, all the others, they're on the favorites list, but king snakes are #1. Okay? Let's see. They eat all sorts of different stuff. Most notably, they eat other snakes. That's why they're called king snakes. They'll even eat their own family members. So they're cannibals too. But these things, they can get pretty big. I mean, some of them can get 7, maybe even 8 feet at the most. It's extremely rare to find them that large. They're very slow and not generally too aggressive unless you're first encountering them. You know, they can rear up and try and strike you. But other than that, they're really temperate. They're chill. They're actually resistant to the venom of snakes venomous snakes found in the same area. So if a rattlesnake gets them or something like that, they're able to fight back with venom.
I had an employee pick one of those up off the middle of the road and bring it out here to relocate it, and it rode in his lap the whole way, in his lap the whole way here. Just chilling.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They can be sweethearts. I have a California king snake. I didn't bring him. One, he's Californian. He's not a native species. I got him from a friend in a college class, but who didn't want him anymore. So I was like, "Give him to me. I'll take him. I'll accept any free snake." But
No, he's not open to.
meet me on the side away from her.
Yeah, that's how you start a fight at the Herpetological Society.
So, yeah, these things are just so beautiful. The other reason I didn't bring my California king snake, the only time he's going to bite is if he smells food, which other snakes, like the ones I brought over there, register as food. The only time he's bitten me maliciously is because I had the corn snake, I had her up around my neck, and then I went to go clean out my king snake's tank, and he comes out, he looks more active than normal. I should have said something was up. He bit me on the neck and tried to pull me into the tank. And he's just sitting there tugging at me. I'm just like, look, man, you gotta let go at some point. So he eventually, he let go and he went back in there. And I mean, they do have small teeth. They kill by constricting, so they wrap around stuff. Actually, I got pictures here. So there's one eating there's an eastern variant eating a water moccasin baby. So, yeah, these things are really pretty. Like I said, there's different variants. This is the chain king snake, also known as eastern king snake, or they just combine with eastern chain king snake. But that's a mouthful. So, yeah, because they have like these chain patterns. They're going to be a uniform dark color, like black or maybe a chocolate color, and they always have yellow or white little chain links, basically going down the body. You can definitely see it on this one. There were some beautiful ones here. I really want to get rid of these. We have a speckled king snake. These are probably a little more common up north. A lot of them, they can look pretty similar to the black rat snakes in the fact that they're more speckled and stuff. Sometimes, obviously a lot of them, more than others. Most of them are probably just like this. These are less common down this far south, but they have been seen. So, there's one killing and eating a copperhead there. You can see they're wrapping around. And there's another one eating a copperhead. Yeah, they can wrap around and literally break the bones of their prey. That's how strong they are. Like on a basic scale, like if you're comparing them, say like a python and a king snake, they're the exact same size. The king snake is way more powerful. It's literally designed to kill other snakes. So if there's any snake that, if you don't like venomous snakes, there's any snake you want to have a king snake. They'll take care of everything for you. Okay? And the Florida variant is more common, I guess, further south. Yeah, these are very heavily patterned. They just look like someone flecked a bunch of different, bright colored paints and stuff everywhere. They're pretty though.
Never found one of those before.
I haven't. There's supposedly a chain king snake up at the college campus, and so I'm always out there between classes looking for it. All right, so milk snakes. These basically are like, I call them the love child between a corn snake and a king snake. They are technically king snakes, but they have patterns that are very, very similar to corn snakes. So they look really cool. They'll be quite a good variant in color. It'll be a brown tan mix or like an orange silver mix. They have the same diet and everything. They eat other snakes, but they are generally a lot smaller. So this is more likely what you're going to see here is any of these here. But as you can see, they can be very vibrant and beautiful. Yeah, that one's about shit there. It's got a little blue eye, you see. It's a really dull color. And whenever it sheds, it's probably going to shine like this one. It's still pretty. And this here is the Louisiana variant. Obviously found more commonly in Louisiana, but they are popular pets. I know some people could release them and all that, and they are found in pretty much the same kind of environment as we have here. So you could maybe encounter one of these, but that's why you got to, they'll learn the individual species to tell them apart from the coal snake. Indigo snake, second favorite overall. I really want one of these, but they are an endangered species. You have to have a license to actually keep them. You have to have it's just illegal to even hurt these things. Okay, like you look at